Welcome. You are about to discover how successful people just like you are protecting their income, assets, spouse, and future lifestyle from the potentially devastating cost of a long-term care event. By the way, don't reach for your wallet or purse because the information is free. There's even a free gift waiting for you at the end of the video, so please make sure that you stick around until the end. So who is this educational presentation for? Well, this is for you if you've ever had a family member or loved one that required nursing home care or in-home care. Maybe you just want to better understand the costs associated with the various forms of care. Perhaps you're hoping to plan for long-term care so that your assets and retirement income can be protected. It might anger you that your hard-earned life savings could end up going to a nursing home instead of your surviving spouse, children, or charity. Maybe you've heard that protecting yourself from a long-term care event is too expensive to consider. And finally, maybe you've priced long-term care insurance in the past and feel that it's definitely too expensive. If any of those describe the thoughts or feelings that you've been struggling with, then I'm confident that the next few minutes will be well worth your time. We are going to focus today mainly on the steps that can be taken to avoid a financially devastating long-term care event. We'll start with some general information. Did you know that the national median cost of a private room in a nursing home or long-term care facility is around $87,000 per year, and the average stay in a nursing home is around 2 years? Now, for a semi-private room, it's around $78,000. And for in-home care, the average hourly rate is around $21 an hour. Now, many families could absorb a 2-year stay at those annual costs. It's the extended stay, however, that can be financially devastating. Now, what if you were to require care in some capacity for 5 or even 10 years? Now, no one, regardless of net worth, wants to hand over that kind of money to a nursing home. If you're a male at age 65, your life expectancy is around 84 years. For a female at age 65, it's around 87 years. Further, there's a 25% chance that you'll live past age 90 and a 10% chance that you'll live past age 95. So the odds are that you'll require care at some point in your lifetime. The question is, and the big question, is for how long? Currently, there's around a 20% chance that you will require care for more than 3 years. Obviously, there are factors involved here, family history being one of them. Is there a history of cognitive impairment in your family? Obviously, that could lead to a lengthier stay in a nursing home or long-term care facility. Health and fitness also play a role. Do you have any illnesses, or perhaps you're healthier than your peers in general? This could obviously mean that you're less likely to need care. There are a few ways, generally speaking, that most people approach long-term care. So let's take a look at those 3. One is no plan at all. They simply take the approach of letting whatever's going to happen, happen. Obviously, this is not a desirable choice. The second way is that they plan to self-pay. They have some amount of money somewhere, whether it be a stock account, annuity, savings, checking, IRA, something that they have designated to cover those expenses. In other words, this is where they would go first to start to cover those costs. Now, this is better than option 1, but all too often there's not nearly enough there to cover the expenses associated with long-term care. So the third way is that they purchase insurance. Now, much like life insurance, they pay monthly premiums that can then be used to access benefits that can cover some or perhaps all of their long-term care expenses. Now, this is great, but people are often turned off by the really extremely high premiums. Also, the rates aren't guaranteed, and the insurance company could raise rates and even lower benefits in certain situations. Further, if you were to die peacefully in your sleep, which is what we all hope to happen, and you don't even use your benefits, now you've paid thousands of dollars per year for insurance that you never even ended up using. So, what's the answer? None of those options sound that great, right? There is a fourth approach that only a select group of successful individuals and their families are aware of and have put to work on their behalf. Why is it such a secret? Simple. It's because most stockbrokers, insurance salesmen, financial advisors, and financial planners, whatever you want to call them, really know very little about long-term care. Therefore, most people aren't even told what options they may have to choose from. So, how does this simple yet very powerful strategy work? Well, imagine that you could simply reposition a portion of your assets and instantly turn every dollar into $3 worth of long-term care benefits. Does that sound like something that would make a little bit more sense? Also, if you didn't end up using your long-term care benefits, your money goes to your heirs, just as it would have if you'd never repositioned the asset in the first place. Finally, the benefits may be paid out to you completely tax-free. Now, does that sound just a little better than the other options? I think so, and I'm sure you probably agree with me. So right now you might be asking yourself, I wonder if this could work for me. How can I get more information? Most importantly, how can I get information that's relevant to my unique situation? Well, this is where the free gift that I mentioned comes into play. You see, each month I set aside a limited number of time slots on my calendar to have a confidential and complimentary strategy call with people just like you that are serious about educating themselves and solving this problem once and for all. During this strategy call, I take the time to listen to your concerns and understand your unique situation. In a very short time, I'll be able to tell you whether or not this is likely a realistic option for you. Think of it as a live educational demo of the strategy in the context of your unique situation. Oftentimes, I've had people ask me, is this really safe? Should I be discussing this topic with some guy that I only know through a presentation on the internet? Well, that's a great question, actually. And the answer is yes. And here's why. First, I don't ask for any sensitive information like social security numbers or account numbers during your strategy call. Second, I'm professionally licensed to perform this type of service for people just like you. And third, if we do decide to work together on this at some point, you never send me or my company any of your money. Also, understand that I'm a real person and a real advisor. I run several businesses. There's a tax practice, wealth management and retirement income planning practice, Medicare, and an insurance practice. Now, this topic falls under the wealth management and insurance consulting side. I'm also married and have 2 wonderful children. I'm an avid sports fan and coach. Now, probably most important to you, I'm extremely passionate about helping people solve these types of complex financial problems. Now, with all that said, I want you to understand, I cannot help everyone. If you aren't serious about educating yourself and solving this problem and improving your overall financial situation, then this probably is not for you. Also, you must have assets to protect. Over the years, I've found that this strategy is most impactful for people that have a minimum net worth of $500,000. Now, if this all makes sense to you and you're serious about solving this problem once and for all, then I urge you to take advantage of this offer by clicking the Request Strategy Session button at the end of this presentation. When you click on it, it will take you to a very short, confidential application form where you can tell me a little bit about your current situation and your main areas of concern. Once you've completed the form, it will take you directly to my personal calendar where you can schedule our confidential strategy session. Remember, there's no cost or obligation for having this strategy call together. We'll answer your questions and address your concerns. From there, if you truly believe that this is the answer you've been searching for, and if I feel that I can really help you and we're a good fit to work together, then we can explore how we can work together to put the strategy to work for you. Before I let you go, I have just a couple of requests. First, please be respectful of our time. I offer these calls because I've recognized that this is an area where people really need help and education and guidance. Remember, I'm not compensated for these calls. So please make sure that you're available for our strategy call. The open times for these calls are very limited on my calendar. Second, please make sure that you take the call in a quiet and comfortable area where you can speak freely and are free from distractions. This concludes the presentation. Once you've registered, be sure to check your email for confirmation of the strategy call and add it to your calendar. I'm really glad that you joined me today, and I'm really looking forward to connecting with you on our strategy call. Thank you.